Hello everyone. We were discussing about forms of business organization. In that series of videos, we have completed two different forms of business. They are sole proprietorship business and partnership business. Partnership business we have completed in two different videos. That means three videos related to forms of business organization we have completed. You can refer those videos. Now we are going to see another form of business organization, that is joint Hindu family business. Joint Hindu family business. What is this joint Hindu family business? This is the form of business which we can see only in India, because this is the form of business which is carried on by the Hindu undivided families. Hindu undivided families. Hindu undivided family systems is prevailing in India. So we can see Hindu undivided family business in India. That means in India only this type of business can be seen. So Hindu undivided family business are the business which are owned and operated by the Hindu undivided families in India. And this business is run in accordance with the Hindu Succession Act of 1956. Hindu Succession Act 1956. Here in India there are two different systems of joint Hindu family. Two different joint Hindu family systems. They are Dayabhaga system and Midakshara system. Dayabhaga system and Midakshara system. This Dayabhaga system can be seen in West Bengal. It can be seen in West Bengal. There only we can see Dayabhaga system. The speciality of Dayabhaga system is that in this system both male members and female members can have the ownership of the property. Okay, ownership of the property will be in the name of both male and female members. That means male members and female members can participate in the business of joint Hindu family business, joint Hindu families. Okay, and in Midakshara system, this provides all other states except West Bengal. The speciality of that Midakshara system is that there only the male members can act as the owners of Hindu family business. That means they only can own properties in their name. Female members have no ownership, or they will not get any share in the properties of the family as well as business. Okay, understood? So in Midakshara system only male members can become the owners of or the members of the business. But in Dayabhaga system, both male members and female members can become the members of the business. Then let us come back to this meaning once again. Here, joint Hindu family business. This is the business owned and operated by the members of the Hindu undivided family. And this business will be controlled by the elder member of the family. The elder member of the family known as Karta. He will be the manager of all the business run by Hindu undivided family. Karta. He is the eldest member in the family and he will be acting as the manager. And other people who are younger to him will be the members of the business or the owners of the business but they will not control the business. The control will be vested in the hands of the Karta. He will be the manager of the business. And other members are called co-partners. Co-partners. Co-partners means they are the members of the business. That means the members other than Karta of a joint Hindu family business can be called as co-partners. And the Karta is the manager of the business who controls the day-to-day activities of the business and controls the overall management of the business organization run by Hindu undivided families. Okay, and the provisions of the Hindu undivided family business will be in accordance with the Hindu Succession Act of 1956. Okay, now let us see what are the features of Hindu undivided family business. Features. What are the features of Hindu undivided family business? The first important feature is that its formation. So far in all the business organization, this we have told as one of the features. Here, what about the formation of joint Hindu family business? Any two members of a Hindu undivided family can start a joint Hindu family business. Any two members, minimum two members can start a joint Hindu family business. Okay? That means minimum it should be two and there is no limit in the case of maximum number of persons. Then, regarding liability, we have told that it can be limited liability or unlimited liability. Here, the Karta, we have told Karta, the manager of the business, who is the eldest member of the family, will have unlimited liability, and the liability of the co-partners are limited. That means in the case of Karta, for him it is unlimited liability. That means if something happens to the business or if any huge liability arises for the business, Karta should compensate from his personal property also. And for co-partners, they need not bring anything from the personal property. They will lose the part of capital contributed by them. That's all. Okay. So for Karta, it has unlimited liability, and for the co-partners, the liability is limited. Then next, control. Who will control the business? The Karta controls the business. He acts as the manager. He controls the day-to-day management of the business. And in fact, he will be the owner of all the properties. All the properties in the family will be in the name of the Karta. So, since all the properties in the name of the Karta, he will be the manager of this business also. So, joint Hindu family business means it can be many different types of business may be there. Not only a particular business, various types of business will be there. He will be the Karta will be the controller of all the business. All the business run by Hindu undivided family. It can be a petrol pump, okay, or a bank, or a travel agency, or any other things, or restaurant, or anything. So, if how many business organizations are there, for all such business organizations, he will be the controller and manager. Okay. Then next, continuity. Continuity is there for joint Hindu family business. That is one of the speciality here. Business for a joint Hindu family will have continuity. That means on the death of the eldest person, that is Karta, when Karta dies, the another youngest person or the next eldest person will become the member. When the Karta dies, the another next eldest person in the family will act as the Karta and the business will be continued. because he is also the owner. When one of the owner, that is Karta, if he dies, the next eldest person will continue the business. So business has continued. Then next important point is regarding minor number. This is another important speciality for a joint Hindu family business. For a joint Hindu family business, minor number is possible. That means membership gets on the birth of the person, not on the attaining age of 18 years or not on attaining majority. Okay, he will get the membership at the time of his death. The co-partner, that means when a boy born in the family, he will become the owner of the business. That's what minor member is the speciality of joint Hindu family business. So we can say that these are the various features of a joint Hindu family business. Then let us see merits or advantages. What are the advantages of joint Hindu family business? What are the advantages? First important advantage is that effective leadership. Effective leadership. Effective leadership is the most important advantage. Why? Because the elder member or the eldest member in the family, the Karta controls the business. And he gets the support from all other members. That means all other co-partners. So he can effectively control the business. He will be experienced to control the business, and apart from that, all other members are all other co-owners are the members of his family only. So he will get full support from the persons in his family. So he can control the management in a better way. So effective control is possible. Then next we can say that continuous business existence. That's what we have discussed here. Continuous business existence. Business exists continuously. That's what, when Karta dies, the next eldest member will become the Karta of the business, Karta of the family, and also the controller of the business, and will continue the business. So continuous existence, business continuity is another important advantage. Then next one is limited liability of members. Limited liability of members. The liability of the members of the business other than Karta is limited. That means the co-partners need not bring any money from their personal property. Their liability is limited. Only the assets or the personal property of the Karta may be used. So that is another advantage. Co-partners will have limited liability. The next one we can say increased cooperation and loyalty. Increased cooperation and loyalty, another important merit or advantage. Why we can expect more cooperation? Because they are the family members. They are not the members from outside the family. Since they are the relatives or members of the same family, they will cooperate each other than other persons or the persons from different families. So we can expect a lot of cooperation, and they will be loyal to their family and their business. Okay, since the business is run by family members, we can expect a lot of loyalty and cooperation from all the members of the let us see what are the demerits or disadvantages. Disadvantages of joint Hindu family business. First important disadvantage, we can say that limited resources. Limited resources. Resources of the business is limited. Resources here we can say that capital contributed by the members. It will be limited. Why it is limited? Because the amount comes from single family. Isn't it? In the case of a company, form of business organization, we can expect a huge amount of resource because it is collected from the people of different families or from the public. So there in the case of a company, we can expect more amount of capital, but that is not possible in the case of joint Hindu family business because the resource of the family is limited. Okay, then another important thing, unlimited liability. Unlimited liability. See, here we are telling unlimited liability, but here we have told limited liability of members. How it is possible? Yes, we have told that for the karta the liability is unlimited. For co-partners the liability is limited. In fact, the business has unlimited liability. Why? Because we know that karta is the elder member of the family and all the property and all the assets of the family will be in the name of the karta. The name of all the property will be controlled and it will be in the name of the karta. So since karta has unlimited liability, there is chance of loss of the entire property of the family. Here there is no meaning in it because co-partners has limited liability. Why they have limited liability? Because there is no property in their name. All the properties are there in the name of the karta. So since karta has an unlimited liability, it will be acted as an unlimited liability feature of the business. Okay, the entire liability of the business will be unlimited. The next one we can say dominance of karta. Dominance of karta. Karta will dominate the business or karta will dominate the family members. Karta is the controller or the entire control of the business will be in the name of, or in the hands of the karta. It will be vested in the hands of karta. That means he is the entire owner of the business. And thereby he may dominate other members. Other members may not have any voice in taking decision making process. So he dominates them. So that may not be tolerated by other members. It may not digest for them. And if there is any suggestion, even if there is a good suggestion comes from co-partners, there is chance that may be neglected. And what the karta feels may try to introduce. So in that way, there is chance of dominance of karta, and that is another important disadvantage. Then the last point we can say that limited managerial skill. Limited managerial skill. See, the business is run and controlled by karta, who is the eldest member, aged person. So he may not have sophisticated skill in managing the business. Contemporary skill may not be there. And the youngsters of the family, even if they have efficiency in managing the business, and whatever they suggest may not be followed by karta. So managerial skill will be a problem. And another one thing is there, since they have limited resources, it may not be affordable for them to appoint a manager separately by paying a big salary package for him. Okay, so in all these cases, managerial skill may be limited for a joint Hindu family business. So these are all the limitations. So let us see once again, the concept of joint Hindu family business says that it is the business owned and operated by the members of the joint Hindu family. That means Hindu undivided family business. Okay. Then merit says that it has effective leadership, then continuous business existence, limited liability of members, increased loyalty and cooperation, and has demerits like limited resources, unlimited liability, dominance of Karta, then limited managerial skill. Okay, that's all for today. I hope all of you understood this. Okay.